Good morning, everybody, and here we are again for another round of coffee and questions. And what's today's topic? We're going to review these Edifier R1280T bookshelf speakers. And I went ahead and I bought these. They're on Amazon. They run right around $100. They are a good value. I'll go through, questions and answers here in a minute, but I'm upgrading my computer system, and I'll do a video on that downstream. But these are the speakers that I chose because I had a laptop for a while, and those speakers aren't all that great. And then I went out and I bought a set of little Logitech speakers. Now, they work pretty good too. Nothing wrong with those. I was happy with them. But I wanted something better, and I wanted to step up my game when it came to, the computer experience, because I'm going to set up the new one, on my desk. And I wanted something more than just a laptop, and I wanted something that had better quality sound. And these were my pick. So my starting point was, I did like anybody else. I read all the reviews. I wrote things down. I did some research, not just on Amazon, but other websites. And I took a look at the reviews and what people thought of them. And this gets a pretty high thumbs up value, in terms of speaker quality. So I went ahead. This was my decision. These are the ones that I bought. But I'm going to go through some questions and answers with you right now, and, hopefully shed some more light on these if you're considering them. But they are a damn good, bookshelf speaker, that I can tell you. And now one of the first questions I got asked, or I saw, is how's the bass on this? Does it work real well, or, how is it? Yeah, the bass is okay. Don't expect anything that's going to, make your windows rattle or anything like that. But they're good for the bookshelf speakers, yes. So you're not going to get super heavy bass out of them. But to me, it's more than sufficient. Is it capable of Bluetooth? Not this particular set. Now, Edifier makes them to where they are Bluetooth, but not this one. This one's got the 2 RCA input jacks in the back. Next question is, does it have an input switch so you can hook up 2 devices, to the speakers? The answer is no, but, they would play at the same time, so no, it doesn't. What's the measured frequency response? Well, it's 75 hertz to 18 kilohertz, plus or minus 9 decibels. How long is the cable that comes with them? The power cable, it's about 6 to 7 feet long, which is, it's more than enough for me, but yeah, it's about 6 to 7 feet. Oh, you're talking about the cable that connects from one speaker to the other. Oh, okay, that's 8 feet long. It's long. So you got more than enough room, to spread the speakers out if you want to. Is there a headphone jack on these anywhere? No, there's not. There's no headphone jack. On the side, you've got bass, treble, and volume, and I'll show you a close-up of that in a minute. But, the question is, if you turn the bass up too much, will it harm the speakers? No, you don't need to worry about it. I've cranked the bass part of this all the way up, playing around with it. It doesn't hurt anything. Are these speakers good for music production? I use Audacity, and I don't even use it that frequently, so I can't directly answer that, but I would assume you wouldn't have a problem doing that. Let me change the picture, and, we'll go down the line and answer some more questions, but I wanted to show you some different views of these speakers. Okay, this picture I blew up pretty good. It's starting to get fuzzy, so I didn't want to keep blowing it up, but you see it comes with a remote over there on the left. We'll talk about that in a minute. These are the front of the speakers, and you're going to see on the side of them, like I said, you've got the bass, the treble, the volume. And I'll do a close-up here in just a sec. It shows you the little light that tells you, like when it's on and off. Let me do that now. Okay, let's take a look over here on the left. You'll see where I said that it's got the bass on the top, the treble, the volume, and then where that finger's pointing is the little light, and it'll light up when you have these speakers on. Now, over on the left, I'm showing you a close-up of the little remote that it comes with, and we'll discuss that here in a second. But it's nice to have that little remote, and you can set it on your desktop. You can reach over and touch it without having to reach all the way around a speaker that's like, let's say, over on the far right, and you have to fiddle with the volume. A nice little remote. Just be careful you don't lose it, but it's a nice little thing to have. It's everybody on the thing gave it kind of like, criticism, like, look, it's too small, it's made chintzy, it's not that great. I haven't had any problems using the remote so far. One of the questions, can you mount them on the wall? I don't know. I would say no. They're really not meant for that, but I suppose you could probably figure out a way. What's the power consumption? Well, it's 5 watts with a 30 watt max. Another question is, do I need a separate amp, or can I just do a plug and play? You can plug and play into any TV or Echo Dot, and it delivers excellent sound quality. Remember, these are $100 speakers. They're not $500, $600, $800. But yes, it can work. Can you connect it to an iPod? Yes, you can. Where's the on and off switch located? Because you mentioned when it's on, the little green dot over here on the far left where my finger is lights up. The on and off switch is on the back of the speakers. Can you connect it to a TV? Yeah, you just use the RCA jack. It'll just hook right up. How about to a cell phone? Yep, you can hook it up to a cell phone too if you want to play your music from your cell phone. What are the dimensions of these speakers? Well, they're 9.5 inches tall. They're 6.5 deep, and they're 5.5 wide. The one thing I did notice I kind of agree with, somebody said, well, they didn't sound all that great when you first hook them up, and they were kind of disappointed and thinking about, sending them back till they read a review to use them for a little while. They need to be broken in, and they would start to increase in sound quality. And yeah, I kind of didn't notice that, but yeah, I believe that's probably true. You need to use these for a little bit, and I think that maybe there's a break-in period even with speakers to where, yeah, the sound quality does pick up and sound a lot better in a short period of time from playing them, yeah. Watching YouTube movies, is the sound quality clear? Yeah, I would tell you it's crystal clear. They're great sounding. Everybody's wondering about the bass over and over and over. You don't get like this pounding bass effect, in the sound, but you get crystal clear sound. So you can't really compare it, to Creative Labs like standalone subwoofers and all this other stuff. It's like I said, these are bookshelf speakers. The quality is good. It's crystal clear and it sounds great. But, you're not going to get that thumping bass that you want, if that's what you're really looking for. Well, okay, if I read it right, you got both your TV speakers on when you have these hooked up, and you think that they're conflicting with each other. Well, go into the setup on your TV. I don't know what kind of TV you have, and you'd have to play around with it. And shut off your television speakers so that the only ones that are active and working are the Edifiers, and you're going to have a fantastic, sound depending on how you have these spaced. What do I think of the build quality? I think the build quality is fine. It's got that wood grain looking texture. It's not actual wood. But, they look nice on my desk. So I'm okay with how, they were built. What do I use it for? I use it for, well, I do video editing and I make, YouTube videos and things like that. And for me, these are more than enough. I think for the price of $100, you can't beat it. Considering the quality of the speakers themselves. I'd buy them again, no doubt. Back to the subwoofer thing I see. Look, if you want something that much higher quality, you can always drop a lot more money. And you can go with one of these Polk subwoofers, or something, much bigger if you really want something that's going to shake the pictures and all that when you turn it on. I just needed something that was good, high quality. If you want the bass, you're going to have to shoot for a higher dollar value setup. What's the weight of the speakers? They're bookshelf speakers. They're about 5 pounds each. It's not going to hurt anything. They're not super heavy. Well, I can go down this, in a couple, simple steps. One, I like the price. Two, they're bookshelf. They work great for my computer setup. That was my second consideration. Third, I like the remote, even though it doesn't get best reviews on the remote. I still like the idea that it has a remote. It's got powered speakers, which means I don't need a receiver or anything separate, in order to power these and make them sound good. And I like the idea, you have the knobs on the side that you see over here on the far left where I can adjust the bass, treble, and volume. I don't know. I just like the setup all the way around. Like I said, the remote's nice. You don't have to reach over to the side all the time if you can, manage not to lose it. Why didn't I pay the extra and go for the Blu-ray? I don't need it. I just didn't feel that I really needed it, so this is what I chose. But if you want the Blu-ray, take a look at the other Edifier speaker packages, and they do make them, I know that. And I kind of have my doubts. Look, at a $100 price point, you're going to find anything out there, that can outperform these. These sound great. They really do. If I wanted to buy a subwoofer, what would I have bought? I guess I'd take a look at the 60-watt 10-inch Polk. If you just want a quick suggestion, I've read the reviews on those. They get outstanding reviews. They said that 60-watt Polk is like incredible, and it's a damn good value. Now, I don't own it, and I don't know that much about it. It's just from the reviews that I read, but you can research it farther if you really want one. Do I have any suggestions on improving, the quality on these? Well, the one thing that I suppose I could suggest is, the speaker wire itself. When I get a chance, I would probably replace it with like 14 gauge wire. I think you'd get a little bit more quality out of it, but that would be really my only suggestion at the moment. You might replace the RCA cables too. Everybody complains they're kind of flimsy and cheap, and if you wanted to replace the cables on, the back and the wiring, and that would improve it a little bit. But how much, I don't know because I haven't done it yet. But from what I read, that's what other people have done, and they say it does increase the quality and the sound. You can hear it's got great separation, on the instruments. I mean, that it's hard because you can't actually try them yourself. I mean, these are reviews and these are opinions. If somebody's got them in a store somewhere where you can go in and actually listen to them, I would do it that way. I've watched enough videos and stuff on these edifiers, and people try to give you examples of the sound quality, and it's not doing these speakers justice, so I didn't even bother trying to do that for you. I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't come anywhere close to what they really sound like. They are crystal clear. They're good. They have good depth of sound, and it's got a nice stereo width on them. You can tell if you use your mixer, you can take a look down below and you can see for yourself, I mean, that they work perfect. They're great. Is there a volume indicator, light or clicks on that volume control? No, it kind of freely moves. It's a little bit kind of quirky to get used to. That's the reason why the remote's nice. You can bump it up and down. As you turn that knob, it's like free turning. There's no clicking and there's no indicator. So you got to gently play with it. But look, it's a $100 price point. It does work. You just got to get used to using it. That's all. Let me show you a couple more pictures and we'll wrap this up. I didn't mean for it to be, real long, but I wanted to make sure I gave you a good review on these speakers. Okay, here's another picture. Blew it up as big as I could. It shows you the complete package once you unbox it. I didn't go through an unboxing. That sounds really boring. This is what's in there. You get the remote, you get the manual, you get the speaker wires, speaker covers, and speakers. Now here's a close-up view. I don't like blowing these up too much. They become too grainy and too fuzzy. But this is the back. It shows you where the auxiliary jacks are, the little white and the little red on that upper right. Next to it, those are your computer jacks. Then you have the speakers where you've got red and black. To the left of it, there's that power switch that we talked about right below it with the 0 and the minus sign. And you got that nice power cord coming off of there. Like I said, I believe it's up to 6 feet. Speaker wire length that comes with it is up to 8 feet. Here's a nice close-up view of those volume control, the bass, the treble. Little green light at the bottom is when it's on, it'll glow green. But it's got a nice finish to them, and the knobs are real nice, and they're easy to adjust. You just got to get used to it a little bit, but they're nice. Here's a close-up view of that remote. That's just a little slide plate. It comes out, a little flat battery. Comes with it. Everything's there, but it shows you just slip it out, change the battery if you need to, put it in. Nice and easy. All right, and here I'm showing you on the front of one of those speakers, that's where the infrared is, right there. And just by touching that button on that remote, you got total control of the volume up, volume down. I mean, it's a nice little setup. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up here in just a sec. I just wanted to give you a review on these Edifier speakers. I think they're a great value. I would buy them again, like I said. If you have comments or you have suggestions on, the hooking up of these or anything you'd like to say, drop it in the comment below. I like people that leave me comments that have similar products. Sometimes they've got tips and tricks that they've done. I've told you the one tip and trick is you can swap out those RCA, those jack wires and the speaker wires. And, I gave you suggestions. I mean, you could do that and spacing them out and so forth. I don't know. Give me an idea on what you think. Maybe you found something out there that's a better value. My thing is at this price point, I don't think you're going to find anything better, but it's just my opinion from, the research I've done and the things that I've read and people I've talked to. You have a different experience, let me know. I'm the home handyman. This was a review of the Edifier speakers. So give me that comment if you want to. Click subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video. And you folks have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.